All right, welcome everyone. This is another reps call. I think that this is the last for the month February. And welcome. Before we start, if anyone from the Ukraine region is watching this, we hope that you are safe. We're reading the news. We really hope that you're okay. I know that some people have reached out to contributors. Let us know. I don't know if we can do anything, but let us know. And please stay safe. It's really bad news that is happening whenever there is war, whenever war is bombing. So please take care of yourselves. With that, unfortunately, not so happy note, I'm gonna say hello to the rest of the people that they are in the room. Paul, Robert Kaiser or Cairo, Francesca, Irvin, Stefania, Emin, Alex, Laye, Lydia, Bob, Lourdes, Suhail, and Liv. Welcome to this week's RepsCo. I'm gonna check if we have anyone else. No, we don't. On the Etherpad. And the first topic is about Francesca and the Mozilla Connect email that you all received yesterday. So Francesca, do you want to give a short description? John, who is the community manager there, he's also going to come next week to explain more. But Francesca, since we sent that email, I wanted to speak a little bit about it. So Francesca, the floor is yours.
Oh, hello. So yes, you all received my email about this campaign we are going to run. So I just want to give a brief description, see if there is any outstanding question, and then we will get more details for John next week. So if you had a look at the Ideas at Mozilla website, you can see that there is a platform where people can give ideas about Mozilla feature, Firefox feature or features for other Mozilla products, give feedback on those ideas and discuss those ideas. So now that same idea, the same community will move to another platform and will become Mozilla Connect. So the ideas will remain the same, but people will be able to sign in using a Firefox account. Will be defined areas for ideas, general feedback, and discussion. And there will be also an increased staff presence there. So what we are asking the reps to, how we are asking the reps to participate. So next week, this platform will launch, this new platform will launch, and we would like you to go there to this platform and contribute to the discussion, essentially, participate in there, put down your ideas, participate in the discussion. This will be a soft launch. So at the beginning, there will be probably just people who were already participating in the communities before, in the ideas community before, and we also ask the reps to go there and participate and kind of take a lead. Start to take a lead in giving you ideas and to set the tone in a certain way of how discussion will be there. And then there will be and then 2 weeks after, we would like to try to get more people on the platform. And then we will launch a community campaigns. We will have a usual in the community portal. We will have a campaign page. We will have suggestions for events you can carry out with your community. And that will launch a couple of weeks after the launch of the new platform. So if I forget anything, Constantina, feel free to add.
No, after we do the first wave with reps and already participants of the current platform, we're gonna send some emails to the community portal lists. So to drastically, like in waves, open it up. And we're doing that in order to not throw everybody in, but just like having waves of people and seeing if something is missing, something is not working, before we do a bigger push in media. So it's not like it's gonna be NDA. We are letting our community know first, though, before we go on a bigger media push, probably in around April. So you feel free to share the message with your community friends and the members that this is happening. And there's going to be a bigger PR push in the next month about it.
Yeah, so feel free to share with the community. Maybe don't tweet yet, but yes, that's the idea.
Yeah, tweet once it's out, not yet.
Yeah. So are there any questions on this? I don't see any question. I don't see any question on the Etherpad. Okay, so then I will pass the floor to Cairo.
Yeah, and connect is actually a very good connecting thing between those topics, because mine is also about connecting stuff. I think it's probably a good idea if I share the screen for a moment, just for a very small thing here. Can you see that? So I did a talk about at FOSDEM about suggestions for a stronger Mozilla community. I will not go through this talk here. The video is up on the FOSDEM page. You can also look at my slides, and you see the URL here at slides.cairo.at. It's actually the first entry there. But I want to go into two things here. For one thing, thanks to Michael Kohler for discussions we had in the background when he was organizing FOSDEM, because he brought me to this topic. It was a suggestion from him that got me there. When I thought about the topic, I was thinking about where has the community been coming from, where is it now? And so especially on where is it now, I found that due to a lot of things that started up and shut down again and so on, we have a lot of groups which are still here, which are good in some cases, Sumo, NDN, localization, some local groups, as we know in reps very well. But it feels very disconnected and splittered into those islands, and it's hard to motivate people to connect in some form. So one thing that I came up with in those suggestions is I think we need some kind of communication channel, something that feels like it can connect all those groups that we have in the community. And I had some ideas that I put up here in the slide, like some kind of weekly condensed news that we collect all over the community, not just out of the official organization, but also all the surrounding community that still is behind the manifesto in the open web, like all those Kokwi and web things and so on, those projects included. This could be maybe even in a podcast form or something. I was just spinning ideas there. And so one thing I would like to bring up here is, what are your opinions as reps on this topic? How can we connect the community more? What do you think is a good idea to do here? And also, who would like to help to get something going in those areas? I will, if I find how, I will unshare again. And yeah, let's, who has opinions on that, and what do you think we can do there? If not in the meeting, then let's please bring it up on metrics in the reps channel.
I saw Paul has raised the hand.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that the idea of putting together some kind of, maybe not necessarily a podcast initially, because there'd be extra infrastructure around setting it up and recording it and hosting it somewhere. But just if there was the buy-in from various community managers and sort of key leaders across the different groups that you mentioned, then potentially we've got a great way to surface all the good work that's being done by the community to make things more efficient for community managers. So instead of there being lots of different community newsletters for lots of different teams, there being a regular, bigger community newsletter, which joins things up a bit more.
Yeah, I think it would be good to bring out the highlights and to do it from a point of view that is not necessarily organized by the Mozilla organization, so that but by maybe has some support, but by a group that is really in the community, so that all those around the organization also feel like they can bring up their highlights there, and that it's not necessarily just basically a corporate thing, but a really community thing.
Yeah, and potentially we could host it on something like the Mozilla Wiki. Probably the easiest platform to use. But yeah, I think the idea of it is very, very good, because I think there's a lot of work that is being done by different groups, and it's an opportunity to catalyze it, to bring it all together and to surface it.
Rob, do you think that, by the way, thank you for putting this together. I liked actually the slides I shared with a colleague. Do you think that this should be a community-like initiative? And I'm wondering how we can organize it better so we don't do 1-2 months and then it drops. And then Stefania has a question.
Yeah, I think it should be ideally a community thing, but I mean, for me, the most important thing is whatever is included there should be inclusive of all those things that happen around the official organization, and not feel like it's a newsletter of just Moco or Mofo, but to feel something that includes all those things around it, because I think there's a lot of good work being done there in those other things, especially in those projects that Mozilla handed over to someone else, and that we still should highlight, and that should still feel included in the community.
Stefania?
Yeah. So thank you, Robert. To me is a great idea, but so thank you for sharing. Also Francesca before, actually, for the campaign. And I have some doubts about how to organize it in terms of frequency and in terms of the delivery. So it should be a newsletter that people are already subscribed. So for example, through newsletter from Mozilla that you can pick up different topic, and one topic added could be action around the world. In one sense. In the other, I was worrying also about the how to be inclusive in sense that you really have to be updating from all the community of all around the world. Otherwise, if just one or three community or national community commit, then you receive just the news of those and doesn't give you an overall activity. So it will be it's a great idea, but it will be challenging to have the full scope of the diversity work around or all the communities if you don't find a representative for each of them. And another idea would be, for example, to have a container where people know that can put there the news, and then one representative, for example, who create the newsletter in Mozilla that can pick up from there and put it in the monthly. But a little bit concerned about the different quality of showcasing one or other community if not all of them apply to this project. That is very great, just to consider about. Thank you for sharing.
Yeah, it definitely, in my opinion, needs something for people to report in, but it also needs a team of people, ideally, who put together those highlights. Because if it's everything that everybody in the community does, then it's so much that people will not read it anymore. But if it's highlighting, here's something great from this part, here's something great from this part, this week or this 2-week edition, we're highlighting this time we're highlighting this, then I think it's a load that people can also work through and that people are happy to get. But it definitely needs people to help there to form this team. I'm happy to help, but I cannot do it alone for sure. So I needs to build multiple people.
I see Irvin raise his hand too.
Yeah, this sounds like there was a plan, a Mozilla Planet, which is a planning of every blog sign up at the center, a collective of the blog about Mozilla at the one site. That was the something that we did past many years ago. And another idea is that we can just use Discord and ask people to share the stories like Mozillian of the month. Like we did 2 years ago, we just asked community to share their story on Discord and maybe a specific topics at a Mozillian category, and then every month we just review the story at the category and choose and collect all the titles and choose the best one, featuring the best one, and send out the email like the community version of TLDR. That could be pretty easy way to run. And yeah, that's all from me now.
Yeah, a community version of TLDR is I think a good idea to start off with, basically. But I'm not even sure who even knows the TLDR from the community point of view, because it's I think only for NDA people, and of course it's very of the corporate topics of MoCo. And Planet Mozilla still exists, but I think at the same time it's too much information and it doesn't include a number of things that are actually interesting.
Yeah. Blog is already a story that passed. Yeah, but we can use Discord. I believe that Discord can have bigger position at a campaign.
So I like this conversation where this is going. My question to all of you is, before we think about which media we're going to use in order to do that, think about what is the aim of this. Like, is the aim of this to inform the communities, people inside Mozilla, on what is happening around them? Or is the aim of this of attracting new people to the Mozilla communities? Or is it a mix? Because once we decide that as a project, and if people want to take it over, and I'm very happy to help on a supporting role, Francesca knew that I always ask the why before we do the how. It's like we need to decide like what is the best. Before we decide the best medium, we need to decide who we're trying to reach out. If we're trying to reach out already community members, I agree with Arvin. Probably this kind of call can be the best kind of call because it's already established, it is already supported. It doesn't need to be just a reps call. We can expand it to different other community members and bring more people in here. If we're trying to reach other people, then probably this call is not the best format as it is right now. And maybe we want to, I don't know, create a newsletter or that kind of thing. So my question to this conversation is like, before we're starting to think about how we're going to do it, think a little bit about who are we trying to reach? Like, what is the aim of this reach?
Yeah, that's definitely a good topic to discuss as well.
So, for example, I see Arvin, he says the aim is to share what's going around with Mozillians, like a TLDR, which is not NDA, and include wider info that Mozillians like to know. If we decide for that, then this kind of format it actually can be very well. Like, you know, they are the monthly meetings of the internal corporation. We can do something like that monthly and open it up to everyone in the community and say, hey, here are the Mozilla community news, you want to participate and learn. and we take this time, and it's very easy for us to take this time and expand it. But again, this will require time on what news we want to bring, what are the speakers we want to bring, and so on. But we can figure it out. So yeah, if we want to start that as an experiment, Cairo, Irvin, and Stefania, since you three started this conversation as well, I'm very happy to help you every month that we come in this call as an experiment and we share greater news rather than just not say hello reps. I will say hello like community. Today we are having Cairo talking about X. Today we are having Stefania talking about X, and bringing a new different angle, and maybe see if we can also get employees in here, not necessarily to just speak, but also to listen to you and listen what's happening around.
Yeah, I think one thing with this call is because it's called reps, only reps think they should listen to it.
Yeah,
and so, but if that's just in the naming, and that's just in what it has been so far. So we can definitely work on that if you are open to that. Of course.
Yeah, I think the reps will be very well. We can change the name. That's not the point. But I think the reps are well positioned to do this, because a lot of you are in the local community, are in your functional community. So it is start of connections there. So yeah,
that's also why I'm bringing it up here, of course.
If you want to have kind of a brainstorming about this, I can set up a meeting with me, Constantina, council members, because the council was discussing how we can talk about what the reps are doing. This is a bit more wide, but we can talk about this. We can set up a meeting, invite people, and then have a discussion about that. Would you like to do that?
I would definitely be happy to join that.
Cool. Francesca would and also start on Matrix, and we can have conversations also there, because sometimes arranging a meeting with different time zones can be hard, or open a discussion on Discord, making it a little bit async for people to join that kind of conversations.
Sure. Robert, do you want us to start a post, and then I can send an email in Reps General, tell people, and then we can ask who wants to participate and set up a meeting later on after we collect some more opinion. What about that?
Yeah, I can take that task and post something in. I think in the reps area of Discord is what you're thinking of, right?
Yeah, we can do it there. After you send it, I can send it Reps General, post it in various channels, and try to get this conversation started. We have 2 minutes, Stefania.
Yeah, very quick. I was wondering if we can leverage that on the ModsFest as well. So perhaps this is going to redirect in the Discord. I know that there is a Slack where for emergent session perhaps could be just redirected to there. If no talking directly in the ModsFest, that perhaps can reach more people in there. But just a suggestion. So I'll leave you decide if it could be a good space to talk about that as well, or if you prefer to keep a smaller group before and then share it.
Yeah, I'm not sure if by MozFest we are at a stage where we have this together. I think this still needs some discussion, but it's a good idea.
And I was just sharing that yesterday for the emergent session was quite experimental with different topics. So I feel there is still some very free spaces, but of course, let's keep this on the track that you already mentioned.
We have 1 minute, everyone. Does someone want to add anything? No? Well, then I will pass the word back to Constantina to close the call.
Cool. Well, thank you very much, everyone, and thank you especially, Cairo, for bringing up this conversation. I will expect the post for Cairo to continue this conversation and see how we can move it forward. I will see you all next Thursday. Well, John is gonna be here and talk a little bit about Mozilla Connect. And if you are in Ukraine, please stay safe. I hope you stay safe. For the rest of the folks, have a lovely Thursday, and always protect the open web. Bye,
Thank you very
folks.
much. Take care, everyone. Bye.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Take care. Bye bye.